for your lower back. And as you hug your knees into your chest, do your best to allow your upper body to relax into the mat. And if it feels good, you can start to rock side to side or pull your knees both up toward your right shoulder and then toward your left shoulder, and just checking in with how does my lower back feel tonight. And sometimes it's nice to practice with your eyes closed for these first few minutes, especially when we're on our backs and movement is slow. So if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And then place your feet back on the mat. And I want you to bring your feet to the mat and bring your legs together. So your knees are bent, your feet are on the mat, your knees are pointed toward the sky, and then your arms are up to the sides. And then start to drop your knees, windshield wiper them side to side. I'm gonna be limiting my range of motion just a little bit more these days with twisting and things like that. But if it's comfortable for you, you can take your knees all the way to the floor and then back up to center again, and start to use your breath to initiate that movement. We'll go ahead and we'll inhale as we bring the knees up. Exhale as you drop your knees to the side. Inhale, take them up. Exhale, off to the side. Inhale, back up, and then walk your feet about hip distance apart, or excuse me, mat distance apart, much wider than your hips. So take your feet to either edge of, or either side of the mat, and then drop those knees side to side, continuing that windshield wiper motion with the legs. Again, it's an inhale, brings them to center. Exhale, drop them to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop. The next time your knees are off to the right side, I want you to just leave them there. Leave them off to the side. And one thing with our twists, if you're getting familiar and comfortable with props and blocks or pillows, whatever you're using, you can always put a prop under that outside leg, and you can support that twist and just kind of play around and see, does it help the feelings in your lower back? Because we definitely don't want to be pulling anything too deep. We'll stay here with our knees dropped off to the right for 3 more breaths. And then we'll inhale to center, exhale, take the knees off to the left. About 5 breaths here. And in these first few beginning postures, see if you can focus on your breath, bringing that inhale all the way down into your belly, making that inhale nice, slow, and deep. And then as you exhale, releasing all the air out of your lungs. One more breath here. And then coming back to center, we'll take our soles of the feet together, knees wide. And again, another trick you can do with your props is you can have a block on either side of your thighs. So again, remembering that there's multiple levels to these blocks, but sometimes it feels good to support our outer thighs, whether it's pulling on the inside of the legs or the knee. It's a nice way to support there. And then take a hand on your belly, hand on your heart. If you haven't already, close your eyes, start to deepen your breath. And if you were on a couple minutes early, you heard me remark that I had some requests for some recovery or yin style posture. So while we will be still flowing and still doing our strength postures, we'll spend a little more time on the mat tonight. Both here at the beginning and then at the end. And it's also been a trend that I've been noticing just in conversations I've had with clients and loved ones, just that, you know, they're in need of that mental, physical, emotional recovery and yin, that resting postures. So hopefully that speaks to you tonight as well. And if nothing else, we'll get you ready for a great night of sleep. On your next inhale, close those knees. Extend the right leg nice and long. Draw your left knee into your chest. Maybe take the left knee out towards your left shoulder and start to circle out that left ankle. Nice deep breaths as you do so here, and then changing directions of that ankle circle. And then what I'm going to have you do is take your right hand, reach for that left ankle or left outside edge of that left foot, and see if you can start to open up the left knee as you pull your left ankle or left foot toward your right hip. And then you'll start to rock side to side and start to move that hip socket around, that ball and socket joint of the hip, just getting an idea of how our hips feel tonight. And then as much as that shin will come parallel to the shoulders, I want you to just kind of find a nice comfortable position to use your arms, use your biceps to hold that leg. And you can be kind of in a half sit-up position here. I'm already inclined with this nice bolster, but if you want to kind of rise up and pull that leg a little bit closer, you can do that as well. We'll take 2 more breaths here. We'll release that left leg, draw the right knee into your chest. I interlace my fingers right around the front side of my shin, and then start to circle out that right leg, or that right ankle. Nice deep breaths in and out through the nose, and reverse that ankle circle. And same thing here, you're going to reach down and grab for either the outside edge of that right foot with your left hand, or maybe the left ankle or shin, whatever it is that you can do to start to open up the right knee and allow that hip socket, that ball and socket joint of the hip, to glide around just a little bit. Get an idea of how your hips feel tonight, how they're moving, and not forcing any static stretches just quite yet. Another couple of movements, and then draw that right ankle as close as you can toward that left shoulder. Draw that right knee toward your right shoulder. And again, if you want to lift up here, really using the arms, using the muscles of your arms to hold that leg in, and hold for 2 breaths. Good, and release, and then you're going to place your feet on the floor. This might look a little interesting with me on this bolster, but we're going to go for it anyway. So place your hands next to your hips. I'm going to have you do some hip raises here, and I want you to start to tuck your tailbone, press through your feet, squeeze the backs of your legs, and bridge your hips all the way up. Inhale at the top, and then roll your spine down, starting at the top of your spine all the way down to your tailbone, your sacrum, laying it down on the mat. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the back of the legs, press your feet into the mat, raise those hips up, inhale at the top, and then reverse. We're going to do that one more time, and when we get to the top, hold for 3 breaths. So inhale, exhale, pressing through the feet, squeezing here, and then getting to the top, holding, and not going up any higher than you feel is comfortable. So if you feel any pinching or pain in your lower back, just lower the hips down slightly. But if there's no pain, keep those hips up nice and high in line with the knees for 3, 2, and 1, and slowly lower back down. Draw your knees into your chest one more time, and circle those knees out one way, and then reverse the direction of that circle. Nice. And then I'm just going to have you drop your knees over to the right, coming up on the elbow, and then getting into that tabletop position. So in your tabletop position, we'll start some cat-cow, always a great restorative posture. You've got your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees hip distance apart, flexing and rounding the spine. Inhale, drop your belly, heart and head come up. Exhale, round through the spine, pressing the back of the heart toward the sky. Inhale, drop the belly, nice stretch for the abdominals, open through the shoulders. And exhale, round. We'll do 3 more here, inhale. Great stretch also throughout the day if you're looking for, what can I do in the morning when I get up? What can I do in the evening? This cat-cow stretch is excellent for your spine and can be kind of thrown into any part of your day. Let's do one more. Inhale here and exhale round. Inhale just to a neutral spine, and you're going to take that right leg back, left arm forward, holding for 3 breaths. Another great one to start your day, a balancing posture, some work for your core. Inhale, reach a little further with the fingers and the heel. Exhale, rounding in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Either elbow to knee or tapping back on the mat. If the elbow to knee is just a little bit too much balance tonight, then just tap the hand and knee back down on the mat. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale. Last one, inhale, reaching. Exhale, round, elbow to knee. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, reaching that left leg back, flexing the left foot, right fingertips out, 3 breaths. Keeping your hips nice and steady. Draw those abdominals in. Nice job. Reaching a little bit further with the fingers in the left heel. Exhale, round, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Keep it going just like that, matching your breath to your movement. 2 more. Inhale as you reach. Exhale as you round. And last one, inhale and exhale. And placing your hands back on the mat, taking your hips side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll tuck our toes, lift our hips, and find that first downward facing dog of the evening. And I've said this before, the first downward dog for me always feels tight. It always feels like my knees need to stay bent a little bit more, like my hips don't quite want to reach toward the sky. So finding some movements in this first downward facing dog can be really helpful to just unwind the muscles a little bit and find some more comfort in your pose. We'll take 2 more breaths in our downward facing dog. Nice, and then start to walk your hands back toward your feet. Nice, and once you get toward the back of your mat, have your feet hip distance apart, grab onto opposite elbows and hang out in a nice forward fold. Sway gently side to side. And then release those hands. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, rounding up slowly once you get to the top. Inhale, taking those arms up. Interlace your fingers, pointer finger extended, exhale off to the right. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale off to the left. This time, inhale up, exhale, release that right hand down, left arm up and over your ear. Inhale up, exhale, left arm down, right arm up and over your ear. Inhale takes it up, interlace your fingers, place them the base of your skull, open up at the elbows, big tall inhale, exhale, right elbow reaches down. Inhale back up, exhale, left elbow reaching down. Inhale back to center. I want you to first engage your abdominals and tuck your hips forward slightly. And then inhale, open up at the elbows, send your heart up toward the sky. 3 breaths as you open up through the chest and shoulders. Relax any tension in your facial muscles. Nice job. Inhale, taking your arms up and nice and wide. Exhale, forward fold, reaching all the way down toward your mat. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold, and from here you'll walk your hands back out into your push-up or plank position. Now, option here, either coming down to your knees and take that vinyasa, or chaturanga here to your upward facing dog. And back to that downward facing dog. Now, whenever I say vinyasa or whenever we do that little push-up, you always have the option to just transition right back to your downward facing dog and skip the chaturanga or that kind of negative push-up completely. Inhale, take that right leg up. Exhale, right foot in between your hands. Take that left knee down right away. Inhale, taking the arms up. And stay through the exhale. Tucking your hips forward slightly, reaching up in between those fingertips. Interlace your fingers, pointer finger extended. Exhale, off to the right. So staying in that lunge as you reach over toward the right side.
with your hands. Inhale up. Exhale, release your hands down, leaving your left arm down, right arm up, take a twist. And if you'd like to, you can come into that full lunge with that back leg off of the mat. Otherwise, staying here for 3 more breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, release. Right hand is going to be down on the inside of the right foot. And you're going to have that right hand down, left arm comes up here. Nice. Try to press your right knee into your right elbow as you open up that left arm. And again, option to come into that full lunge with that back leg up off your mat if you'd like. And hold here for 2 more breaths. And exhale, release that left hand, and you're going to press your hips back, finding that hamstring stretch on that forward right leg. And pause here, 5 breaths. Last 2 inhales and exhales. And this time we're going to come forward on an inhale. Now, if you didn't have your left back leg or back knee off of the mat before, I want you to go ahead and take it off the mat now if you can. Option to have a block under your hands as well. So anything that brings the ground a little closer, makes that posture a little more comfortable for you. 2 more breaths here. Now stay with me. You're going to lower that back knee, lower the back left knee. You're going to straighten that forward leg, but you're going to walk your hands around. So your right leg is extended straight. You're on that left knee, and you inhale, take your arms up. Nice. Once you're here, exhale, right arm down, left arm comes up and over your ear. Good. Inhale, up. Exhale, left arm down, right arm up and over your ear. Same thing, other side. Inhale takes you up, exhale takes you over. Inhale up, exhale over. I'm going to do 1 more time on each side. Inhale up, exhale over. I'm going to reach, grab my block. And then inhale up, exhale over. Option here, if you would like, you can reach that right arm up and over your ear. And then you can take that right leg off of the mat. Okay, and then additional option, if you'd like to bind your hand and your foot, reach that right hand around for your right foot, pressing your hips forward, opening up the shoulder, and holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Release the hand, release the foot, and then start to walk yourself back around toward the top of your mat. Hands on either side of that forward right leg. Right foot back. Option here to come right back to downward facing dog or coming through that vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. With your inhale, take that left leg up, left foot in between your hands, and then right away that right knee comes down to the mat. Inhale, taking your arms up. Stay through the exhale. And tucking the hips under slightly. Interlace your fingers, pointer finger extended. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, arcing off to the left. Taking your hands, your arms off to the left side, stretching through the right. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Exhale, release the hands. Right hand is going to be on the inside of the left foot. Left arm is up in a twist. Now, same thing as on the other side. If you'd like to, you can come into that full lunge. Just take that back knee off of the mat. Otherwise, you have that right knee down and left arm up. Last inhale here as you exhale, release. Left hand's going to be on the inside of that left foot. Left arm down, right arm up. Same thing as on the other side. If you want to bring that into a full lunge, you can do that as well. Otherwise, that right knee's going to stay down. Open up for one more inhale. As you exhale, release that right hand down, shift those hips back, straighten out that left leg, 5 breaths here. We want to try to keep our hips square, our shoulders square, and especially for this hamstring stretch, I love having props and blocks available because it allows you to really isolate the posture, isolate the stretch, and then make it so that you're not hunching through the shoulders and reaching for that foot, giving yourself a good amount of room here with that forward fold over the left leg. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale, take those hips forward, hands on the inside of the left foot. If you haven't already, go ahead and come up off of that back right knee. We're going to hold here for about 5 breaths, opening up the hips. Nice, slow, steady breath. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Stay with me now. You're going to bring that right knee down, straighten that left leg again, and you're going to end up with that right knee down, left leg is straight. I'm going to go ahead and flip myself around. So we've got our right knee down, left leg is straight. Inhale, taking the arms up. Exhale, left arm down, right arm over. Normally I'm mirroring you guys, so if this is confusing, I apologize. Inhale up, exhale, right arm down, left arm over. So as long as you've done both sides, we're good to go. Good. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale takes you up, and exhale, opposite side. One more time each side, with that bind coming up as the option. Inhale up, exhale over. Inhale up. And if you did so on the opposite side, option here to lift that left leg off of the mat, flexing through that left foot, reaching, and then if you'd like to, you can bind the hand and the foot, opening up through the chest and shoulders, hips come forward, and holding here for another 3, 2, and 1. Taking your time, release when you're ready, and then you're going to walk your hands back around toward that forward left foot. Step your left foot back to meet the right, and then take your chosen vinyasa or right back to downward facing dog here. Stay in downward facing dog for one more nice big inhale and exhale. Inhale, come on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Nice big steps up to the top of your mat. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, slowly round up. Inhale, reaching your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, open up the arms, forward fold. We're going to leave our right foot forward, take that left foot back, find our crescent lunge. Little balance challenge coming to you now. We're going to take our hands to our heart. We're going to inhale, step it forward, take that left knee up. Exhale, coming back to crescent. Got 5 repetitions just like this. Inhale, left knee comes up. Exhale, back to crescent. That's 2. Going at your own pace. Inhale for 3, and back to crescent. Inhale for 4, exhale back. Last one, inhale for 5, and exhale. Nice, settling into that crescent lunge. Inhale, taking your arms up. And taking your palms together, and then keeping your elbows nice and close, bringing your thumbs to the back of your neck, opening up through the elbows, and holding here for one more inhale. As you exhale, release the hands. We're going to switch the legs out, taking that left foot forward, right foot back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to heart. Same thing, 5 repetitions. Inhale, right knee comes up. Exhale, send that right leg back to crescent. Inhale, Use your abdominals, pull that knee in. Exhale, crescent lunge. 3 more, inhale. And exhale. Nice, you got it. 2 more, inhale, brings it up. Exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Settling in, inhale, take the arms up. And from here, bringing your palms together, bending at the elbows, keeping the elbows nice and close to the head, thumbs at the base of the spine or at the base of the skull, opening up through the elbows, and holding here for 1 more breath in. And exhale, release your hands, and we'll step that left foot back and vinyasa here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your breath in, take that left leg up. Exhale, left foot in between your hands, and open up nice and long to your warrior 2. So in our warrior 2, our hips are open, our shoulders are open, and just making sure, it doesn't matter, you don't have to have that front knee at a 90-degree angle. Just making sure, the most important thing is to have your knee pointed out over your toes. So if your knee's collapsing in, that's what happens a lot, just pull that knee out so that it's tracking over the toes. Inhale here, exhale, extended side angle, right arm up and over your ear. 2 more breaths. Pressing strong through that back right leg. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Take that left arm up and back. So you still have a lunge in that forward left knee, looking up toward the sky. 1 more breath in and out. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Turn the toes in, wide leg forward bend. Inhale, reaching the arms out. Exhale, flat back. Send your hips back behind you. Forward fold. Now, bring your hands right underneath your face for a few breaths. If you'd like some blocks or pillows to prop your hands up, please do so, but then allow your head to hang nice and heavy, nice and long through your neck. And somewhat of a different transition for us here. I want you to start to walk your hands over to the left, and as you do so, bring your right foot in at a 45-degree angle as you take your left foot forward toward the top of your mat. Block here if you want it. We're preparing for our Trikonasana, our triangle pose. We're going to open up into that triangle on the left side. I'm going to hold here for 3 more breaths, adjusting your props, your blocks, any way you'd like to. And if you don't have a block, you can also just prop your hand up on a portion of your leg as well to support you in this pose. Last inhale as you exhale, release, and we're going to just change sides. So kind of walking our hands, pivoting our feet, so the left leg is going to turn in. Our right toes are going to be pointed now. I believe it'll be toward the back of your mat. And then inhale, take that left arm up. Trikonasana on the right. 5 breaths here. Very nice. 1 more inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to walk it back to center. I want you to inhale, lift halfway. Stay through the exhale. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. So you're still in that wide leg stance. And I want you to turn your toes out now. So we're going to turn our toes out. I want you to inhale, take your hands up toward the sky. And as you exhale, bringing your hands into fists, coming down into that nice deep kind of horse riding stance or nice deep squat. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, making fists. Trying to keep your knees tracking over the toes, and breath to movement here. Inhale up, exhale, coming down. Do 2 more here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up. And exhale down. And then press out, holding that stance, opening up through the shoulders. Chin is up slightly and holding here for 3, 2, press those knees out. 1, hands to hips. Go ahead and spin those toes in, forward fold, just for the transition. Take your time. I'm going to have you walk your hands back around that forward left leg. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So bring that left foot back to meet the right. Inhale here. Moving through your vinyasa, or right back to downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here, I'm going to flip myself around, just knowing we're going to the other side. Don't like facing away from you guys. And when you're ready, inhale, take that right leg up. Exhale, right foot in between your hands, finding that warrior 2. Again, hips are open, shoulders are open. Check in with that forward right knee. No matter how deep that lunge is, making sure the lunge is, or the knee is tracking over the toes. Exhale, extended side angle, right elbow, right knee, left arm up and over your ear. Pressing strong through that back left leg. Nice, long, strong line of energy from the outside edge of that left foot all the way through the left fingertips. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Hold for 2 more breaths. And then straighten that right leg. Bring that right foot around, so you're in that wide leg forward bend. Option here to reach out to the sides again for that forward bend, or I'm gonna bind my hands behind my back. So you've got that inhale, pull the fists away, and then even send the hips forward as you pull the hips away, open up through the chest and shoulders. Exhale, forward fold, keeping those arms bound. And feel free to let go of that bind when you need to, or hold on for another breath or 2. And then release those hands. Chin to chest, neck nice and long. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to start out with a Trikonasana on the right again. So start to pivot your feet. Your right foot, your right toes are going to be facing the top of your mat. Maybe you've got a block. Your back foot is at a 45-degree angle, and then when you're ready, open up into that triangle on the right side. Think about stacking your hips, stacking your shoulders. Gaze can be at your left fingertips or down at your foot, whatever is more comfortable for you. And try not to lock that forward leg out, right? So there's a micro bend in your knee, so you're not feeling any pulling on the back of that right knee. We'll hold for an inhale. As you exhale, staying here, I've got to add another block here. So we're going to square the hips and reverse our triangle. So we're going to revolve that triangle and twist to the right. And I'm going to bring my hand just to my lower back. My twist isn't as deep this way. Nice. And then returning, bringing your torso over that straight forward right leg. So pyramid pose here on the right side. So hips are square, shoulders are square. Both legs are straight. But again, micro bend in that forward right knee. And then we're going to start to pivot. Same thing on the left side here, bringing yourself around so that your left toes are pointing toward the back of your mat. Right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, open up the right hand. Very nice. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Gaze is up at that right hand or down at your mat. Whatever feels better for your neck is really what you should follow here. One more inhale. As you exhale, release. So now you're going to square your hips. I'm going to give myself quite the lift here. And now you're going to leave your right hand down, left arm is going to come up. And then to ease out of that twist a little bit, I'm going to place my hand on my lower back as I give myself a little twist here. And then go ahead and release, forward fold over that forward left foot, forward left leg. Both legs are straight, micro bend in that forward left knee. Pyramid pose or head to knee pose here. Nice. And then when you're ready, go ahead and place your hands down on the mat. Step your left foot back. And lower those knees down. Take your vinyasa or right back to downward facing dog. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to walk your hands back toward your feet. We're going to come into our balancing posture of the evening. Inhale here, exhale, rolling up slowly. Coming into a warrior three. Inhale the arms up, exhale hands to heart. So there's many, many ways to come into our warrior three. One of my favorite ways is this here, where you're gonna have your hands at heart center, relax shoulders away from your ears. Take a nice, strong step forward, little bend in that forward knee, and then as that left leg comes off of your mat, you're gonna hinge at your hips and send that left leg behind you. Hands can stay at your heart, they can come out to the sides, they can come in front. And just like always, a few breaths. And when you're ready to come out of that balancing posture, that's when you can start to reverse the hinge of the hips and come up to standing, shaking out the arms and the legs. Nice work. We'll do that same thing on the other side. So from here, inhale, taking your arms up, exhale, hands to heart, and then you're going to take a nice strong step forward with that left leg, little bend in that forward left knee, again, not locking out the joints. Right leg comes off of the mat, pressing nice and strong through that back right heel. Find your drishti, that place in front of you that's not moving, helps you keep your balance. Arms can come back behind you if you'd like. You can reach out in front. Use that breath. And when you're ready, you can come out of that balancing posture. Nice. And shake the legs out. And just because I'm sure you want to do that one more time on each side, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start on the right leg. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. And you're going to step forward with that right leg. Hinge forward. Option to stay here, or we're going to challenge our balance. Come up, bring that left knee up. Fly that left leg back. Twice more like that. Inhale, left knee up. Left leg back. Last time. Left knee up. Left leg back. And then relaxing out of that pose. Very nice. Shake the legs out. Shake the arms out. Same thing on the left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Stepping that left foot forward, and as you do so, right leg comes off of the mat. Get that balance nice and steady. Inhale, right knee up. Exhale, right knee back. Inhale up. Exhale, send it back. Inhale takes you up. Exhale back. And hold for a breath or two. And relax. Awesome job. All right, stepping to the top of your mat. I'm going to turn it around and be at the top of my mat this way. Last vinyasa, giving us some extra time on our mats tonight. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. Either right back to downward facing dog, or we'll go ahead and take that last vinyasa here. And then before we do our pigeon pose, let's find our child's pose. So knees to the mat, hips to heels. I'm gonna bring my bolster here. And by the way, if you guys are interested at all and don't have a bolster, this is one of my favorite yoga props. I use it for so many things. It's not just useful when you're super pregnant, it's really helpful for lots of different things, especially yin poses. So if you have any questions about that, send me a message and we can chat. But a yoga bolster is such a yummy prop to have. It's amazing. But otherwise, relax into your child's pose here. And the further apart your knees, the more your child's pose will focus on your hips. If you bring your knees together and stretch your torso over your legs, that's going to be a bit more for your lower back. So you can kind of experiment with how you like to position yourself in your child's pose. Let's go ahead, reach both hands off to the left. Keep your hips to your heels. And both hands off to the right. And then back to center. Rock yourself up into that tabletop position again. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, find that downward facing dog, and we'll come into our pigeon pose. So right leg comes up, right knee to right wrist, right ankle to left wrist. And find that pigeon. If you know that this form of pigeon pose is not going to be comfortable for you, you can feel free to take that on your back. If you're not sure what that looks like, recline pigeon, you're going to have your right ankle over your left knee and pull the knees into your chest just like this. Otherwise, you've got your nice setup here. Now in our pigeon, go ahead and kind of relax into the pose. I'll give you a few more cues if it helps. In our pigeon, we're working to get our forward shin parallel with our mat or with our hips. Doesn't have to be though, so you can bend that right knee as much as you need to. You do want to try to square those hips off. So you can use, I can't reach the block, but you can put a block under your, the hip of your bent knee. You can also take a pillow or blocks and kind of prop up your torso, which kind of helps here in that pigeon pose. And more than anything, just working to breathe, relax, especially the muscles of our face, our neck, our shoulders. Taking some nice deep breaths here. I'm gonna need to stay propped up, I think, in pigeon from here on out. We'll stay here for another, let's say, 15, 20 seconds. When I was teaching classes live, I would always have people in pigeon for 2 minutes on each side, and I would use that time to go around and give little massages. I just so wish I could add that personal touch to our yoga tonight, but I'm happy to be here with you guys, even if it is virtually. But there is, there's something missing from that physical presence of being together in the room. So thank you for being here and connecting, at least energetically, through our Zoom room. We want to straighten out the arms coming out. We're going to change sides. Coming up, option to take that right leg up and open, to open up that hip, circle out the ankle, and then you'll change sides, take that left leg up, and then left foot forward, left knee toward the left wrist, left ankle, right wrist. I always like to give myself a little back bend before coming into that pigeon pose on that side. So play around with those props. If you've got a block, stick it under that left hip or a pillow, and it's amazing how that block will kind of rock your hips in line without requiring so much of a stretch out of your knees, out of your hips. And pigeon especially is one, you gotta give it time. So I was talking to a couple folks who were on early to just say that, I was not a naturally flexible person growing up at all. When I first started doing yoga, couldn't touch my toes, the whole deal. But
years of practice, even months of practice, really can loosen up these tight muscles. So if you're struggling in any postures, just know that keep doing it. Whatever is tight, continue to work on those areas, and you will see progress with that consistency. We'll be here about 15 more seconds. And when you're ready, start to walk yourself up and out of that pigeon pose. And then rocking off to that left hip. Press yourself back to that downward facing dog. Open up that left leg if it felt good on the right. Circle out the left ankle. Nice. And then bringing yourself down. So, one pose we haven't really done, I think we're going to do tonight, is our camel pose, a little back bend. So, if you have blocks, bring them around, or if you have pillows. And then you're going to be on your knees hip distance apart. First thing you're going to do, and this might be all you do tonight, hands on your hips, draw your abdominals in slightly as you send your hips forward, and you're going to be using your hands on your hips, or maybe even fists into your lower back to press your hips forward. And this is our little modification number 1 for camel, opening up the chest and shoulders. One more breath in, and as you exhale, hips to heels, child's pose. So we're going to do this one more time, and in between, I want you to take child's pose, go into a full child's pose. I'm kind of being blocked by my stomach here. We'll come into a full child's pose, reaching your arms forward. And then coming up one more time. Inhale, coming up. Option, if that felt really intense, if that was enough, stay there. If you feel like, hey, I've got some room in my hips and in my torso, I want to go a little further, you're going to set up the same way. Draw the abdominals in, hips shift forward. You can tuck your toes so your heels are a little bit closer. But what you're going to do is inhale, send your hips forward, open up through the spine, and then maybe reach a hand for your heels. Open up through the chest, open up through the throat. Send your hips forward. And if you find yourself holding your breath right now, then back out of the pose. You want to still be able to breathe, still be able to relax the muscles of your face. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly coming out of that pose and back to that child's pose once again. 3 breaths in your child's pose. And then walking yourself up. I'm going to come onto our seat, and we're going to do some forward folds with our extended leg. So I'm going to have you extend your right leg forward. I'm going to keep my blocks handy. You might want first to extend your right leg forward. Your left foot is on the inside of that right thigh. Turn your torso over that extended right leg. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands forward toward that extended leg. Now, think about flexing your extended leg. So flex the foot, flex your quadricep muscle, so the muscle on the front of the leg. When you flex the muscles on the front of the leg, it allows the muscles on the back of your leg to lengthen, to release a little bit more easily. So we flex our foot here. And stay here for 3 more breaths. Now all you're going to do is bring your right hand on the inside of that right leg, and then you're going to flip your palm up. So you've got your thumb facing that Achilles tendon. Now you might not be able to get into the full expression, so option to grab onto the top of the legs. We're going to open up here, okay? If you've got a little more room, you're going to keep the palm open. You're going to slide your fingers underneath your Achilles tendon or underneath your calf. Inhale, open up that top left arm. Staying open here, option to keep reaching up or reaching up and over toward that extended leg. Trying to keep the shoulders open as you reach. Last breath. And just release here. Walk yourself back to center. Changing sides. Now you've got that left leg extended. Bring your right foot to the inside of the left leg. Turn your torso over that extended leg. And then inhale nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Again, flexing that extended leg. Flex the foot. Flex the quadricep muscle. Allowing the muscles on the backs of the legs, or backs of your leg, to lengthen, to release a bit more. Keep your shoulders square. Another great prop to have if you're interested, and we can talk offline too about props, but to have a yoga strap, or even a towel, but a strap that you can have around your leg so that you can be pulling yourself down. If your hamstrings are binding you up a little bit and you're not able to get as much room or as much comfort, a strap can really give you that extra space the way that a block can in other postures. So again, all you're going to do is bring that left hand to the inside. If you grab the top of the leg on the opposite side, go ahead and do that now. Great stretch there. Or if you have a little more room, open your palm, slide your fingers under your Achilles tendon on that left leg. Inhale, open up that right arm. Option to stay open or to reach up and over. And kind of note the differences. Like on this side, I can't get my foot. I have nowhere near as much range of motion on this side as I do the other side. I can get a little closer as I breathe, but I am definitely blocked on this side a bit more. And slowly release. And then let's take our legs nice and wide. This is the most challenging posture for me. It just means I should do it more often, and I don't. But we should be stretching what is tight and working what is weak. Instead, we tend to stretch that which is already open and work on the things that are already strong. So trying to reverse that trend. Let's take our legs nice and wide. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Shift your weight forward, and then reaching hands to the center. This is about all I've got as far as range of motion here. Again, maybe a little micro bend in the knees. When I have my legs out this wide, I feel the pull on the inside of my knees, so I have to be careful. So I want you to be as well. I'm always fascinated by the people that have their legs like totally out to the sides and then their torso like flat on the floor. My body does not bend that way. And we'll stay here for 2 more breaths. Walk your hands up, and then from here, I'm going to invite you to bring your legs together, sit up nice and tall. This will be one I talk you through, but don't actually do. And then as you exhale, slowly roll down, relax shoulders away from your ears, 1 vertebrae at a time, so that you end up all the way on your backs. And as you do that, I'm going to bring my bolster back out, prop myself up, and we'll all be on our backs together to close our practice out. Once you're on your back, draw your knees into your chest, and then start to draw your knees toward that left shoulder and toward your right shoulder, side to side. And then pausing in the center, finding your happy baby. Your knees come toward your shoulders. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you want to start to bring your soles of your feet toward the sky. So full expression, you would be flat on your back, but your heels are toward the sky, outside edges, your hands are on the outside edges of your feet, and you're pressing through your feet as you give a gentle pull through your hands. Other option is to grab the outsides of your shins, so the outsides of your legs. So find whatever leverage point works for you, and we'll be here a few more breaths.
draw your knees back into your chest. Now, if it's in your practice and if you feel like it, it's one I definitely can't demo. So if you don't have this pose in your practice, don't worry about doing it. But plow pose is when you press your hands into your mat, send your feet up and over your head. It's such an amazing pose, but it's just not available to me right now. But if I could, that's what I would go into next. So if that's in your practice, I encourage that for you. Otherwise, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together and our knees wide. So those of you in plow, take a few more breaths. Take your time. Enjoy that delicious pose. And when you come out of your plow pose, join us in a reclined butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Hand on your belly, hand on your heart. Close your eyes again, kind of circling back to the start of our practice. Letting go of the control over your breath. Still taking nice deep inhales and exhales, but allowing them to flow through your nose or through your mouth. Whatever is comfortable for you. Release your hands. Take your hands to the outside edges of your legs and just assist closing those knees up. We're going to take one more bridge pose. So setting your feet up so that they're hip distance apart. Knees are bent, palms next to your hips. Inhale, tuck your hips under. Exhale, pressing through the feet, raising those hips up. Staying here for 5 breaths. Option here to keep your hands next to you, or you can take your hands underneath those hips, interlace your fingers, draw your shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest. Nice deep breaths. And again, if there's pain in your lower back, just lower the hips down. My guess is you'll find a range of motion where that pain goes away. Just take the hips up just that far. One more breath in. As you exhale, lower those hips down. Keep your knees bent. Bring your knees all the way together. Arms are going to come out to the sides. Windshield wiper the knees, just as we did at the start of our practice. And again, my range of motion twists and that is going to continue to get smaller and smaller. So use your range of motion. If your knees are coming all the way down to the floor, great. There's no reason why they shouldn't. That's a modification that I'm needing to make right now. And then once again, stepping the feet as wide as your mat, windshield wiper the knees. Nice deep breaths here, inhale and exhale. And coming into our last posture, we're going to take a twist on each side. So whichever twist is going to be nice for you tonight. I'm going to stay in this windshield wiper pose, both knees off to the right. My feet are a bit apart here. But if you have a twist that you prefer, go ahead and take that out as well. And in your twist, knees are to the right. If it's comfortable, head is off to the left, or chin is to the left. Next breath in, knees come up, exhale, knees drop to the left. And maybe your head turns off to the right. Last breath or two in your twist. And then in your own time, when you're ready, you're going to bring your knees back to center. Any final postures that you'd like. Maybe you want to hug the knees in one more time. But you're going to find your Shavasana,
your final resting pose. And traditionally Shavasana is flat on your back, but if you're finding that that's uncomfortable, a lot of times bending your knees alleviates some pressure on the lower back, so that might be a nice modification tonight as well. But wherever you are in your Shavasana, take a nice scan of your body from head to toe. With each exhale, releasing any remaining contractions in your muscles, any remaining tension that you run into. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Releasing the abdominals. Any tension. Leaving the body out through the soles of the feet as your feet roll softly out to the sides. Resting here. Begin to draw some deeper breaths in and out through the nose and the mouth. Start to circle out your fists and your ankles. Going both directions with those circles. Taking your arms above your head. Nice long stretch through your body. And then rolling off to the right or the left hand side. Just resting on your side for a breath or two. Before pressing your way up to a seated position. And your palms can be face down on your knees or open. Chin bowed into your chest. Let's close our eyes for our last few moments together. If you're finding right now that you need that recovery, the restorative aspect of life, whether it's in a physical way or whether it's in that emotional, mental, spiritual way, my wish and hope for you is that you allow yourself to take it. Right? So to stop pushing yourself so hard physically for a couple of days, to allow yourself to take a break from whatever projects personally you've been working on, or to maybe take a day off, take a vacation day from work, take some space for yourself. If you need it, if you're recognizing you need it, listen to your body, listen to what you're being told. What I've found is if we ignore it long enough, our bodies will take over and will force us to stop, force us to pause. So if you're recognizing these signs, honor that. Honor your need for the yin, for the space, for the rest. It's needed in order to endure life. Life is that series of sprints followed by recovery, sprint, recovery, sprint, recovery. We can't sprint the marathon of life without a rest. We'll break down eventually. So I hope that you're able to find that rest and space. Thank you for joining me and everyone tonight in this virtual practice. It's always wonderful to see everyone. Namaste.